Konoha, compared to the video, you're the greenest ninja in the world. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76 Abito. Nine Tails smelled the smell and couldn't walk. ? Afterwards, the two returned to the shop. Aike put the things down, and then said a few words with Hande. Then, Hande and Akora stood aside together, giving up the kitchen to Aike, and Aike stood behind the counter, and immediately began to organize some of the ingredients he had just brought back after processing it. Aike turned on the fire and burned the oil. Wait for the oil to burn until lightly smoked, holding a spoon in his hand. He quickly poured the minced meat, minced garlic, fermented soybeans, red pepper, sweet noodle sauce, and bean paste into the pot. There was a sound of frying, and the whole pot was bright red. At the same time, it also exudes a bright light. The smell of chili came out immediately too. The pungent aroma made Aiko's throat twitch uncontrollably. Then, it grabbed the pot and kept tossing it with a spoon. Brush. After a while, the fragrance became stronger and stronger. The color is getting better and better. Then, Aike grabbed the bowl of soup and quickly poured it into the pot. The spoon in the other hand kept stirring without stopping. After waiting for a few seconds, Aike poured all the white soft tofu that had been cut into pieces into the pot. Boom. Then, he took a spoon and poured some cooking wine and seasoning, adding soy sauce and young garlic leaves. Finally, cook slowly over low heat. At this time, the color in the pot has changed to red, green and white, which looks very appetizing. Finally, it got out of the pot, poured the tofu onto the plate, and sprinkled a handful of Sancho peppers. Then, with lightning speed, the bowl was covered with a stainless steel lid. Put the plate in front of Anko, full of ritual. After Anko stabilized his mind, he slowly opened the lid. Immediately Zzzz. 853. A dazzling light rushed straight into the sky and radiated out again. The tangy fragrance made the eyes of the three present shine golden. This is the third dish I developed. Try it. Anko was already dumbfounded at this time, and he was a little bit at a loss when he stood there. She was completely shocked by the delicious food in front of her, and when Aike urged her again, Hongchuan reacted. Then she quickly picked up a spoon and took a bite. Moment the rich taste detonates the tongue. Wow. This is really delicious. Aike, get me a bowl of rice. Aike seemed to know that Anko had this request, and quickly handed over a bowl of rice. Immediately afterwards, Anko started a new round of gobbling. Her face also gradually became rosy. Seeing this, the audience in the live broadcast room suddenly exclaimed, Naruto, shine, shine, shine again, Deidara, it's amazing. Chef Aike's dishes will shine every time. Jiraiya, what is the principle of this horse riding? Kokuzu, did you secretly hide the light bulb in the bowl? Tsunade, see how I ate Anko, and I regained my spirits all of a sudden. Little Sakura, yes. Teacher Anko has been waiting for a long time to eat this. Seriously. Sarutobi Hirozen, hey, look at this child's mausoleum. Hong, this seems to be Mapo tofu. It's just that the ones made by Aike look quite appetizing. Hidden, what the hell? It's just a tofu, not only glowing, but also eating people. Stupid. What's going on? What did Aike add? Inside the video, while Anko was having a good meal, Kukina also walked in with a big belly. She came in by smell. Looking at Anko's bowl of delicacies, Kushina said excitedly, This smells delicious. Is it a new dish? I want to eat this too. Aike, give me one too. Aike nodded, and then he quickly made another copy and placed it in front of Kukina. Of course, the rice is also put together. Immediately Kukina took a sip with a spoon, then her eyes widened suddenly, and she couldn't help shouting, This is delicious. After she finished speaking, she lowered her head, and started eating like Anko. Less than a minute the two ate all the tofu and rice one after another. Anko said with a happy face, This is really a long-lost time to eat a full stomach. Kukune patted her stomach and said with a smile, Me too. What a delicious meal. Seeing the two eating so satisfyingly, many viewers in the live broadcast room also want to eat. Very envious. Yukina, I didn't expect that. I have a big belly and I eat so much. Hong, seeing you two eating so hard, I'm hungry too. Deidara, seriously, I really want to taste this delicacy too. The coloring alone makes people hungry. Naruto, that's right. My stomach growled when I saw it. I really want to have one. Chapter 77 Use cooking to bring peace to the ninja world? That's okay too? Exclamation mark. Nine Tails actually continued to resist his orders, Standing still and looking around, it seems that something is attracting it at the same time. Obito also inadvertently smelled a fragrance. This smells so good, what is it? Following the smell, Obito also looked around, but at this moment, boom, a golden ray of light soars into the sky, like a giant dragon ascending. It turned into a huge beam of light and rushed into the sky, only to disappear in smoke in the end. See this scene. Obito freaks out instantly. Then, what is that thing? It's some kind of ninjutsu. There is someone in Konoha village who can use such powerful ninjutsu. Seeing Obito flustered and terrified, the audience in the live broadcast room all burst into laughter, and not long after, Obito also found the source of that light. Impressively, it is in front of a ramen restaurant called Ichiraku, and that peculiar fragrance also comes from here. A young man was burning a fire, holding a pot, and kept stirring something. That mouth-watering aroma is coming from that pot. It's that guy's cooking. How can it be? It's just cooking. Why does it emit such an attractive aroma? And what's with this gloss? It's really not ninjutsu. Seeing this, the audience in the live broadcast room couldn't help it, and they were all boiling. Naruto, I'm still curious why Ninetales doesn't listen to Obito's command, but the reason turned out to be that Aike's stir-fried dishes attracted Five Tails. Black soil. Is the smell so delicious? Let the ruthless Ninetales who only know how to destroy be conquered. Uchiha. Terrible. I remember that Ninetales started attacking the village insanely here, but now they are stopped by Aike. Kakashi, I said before that being a chef has nothing to do, but now, a single dish can help the entire Konoha village in a disguised form, so that everyone in the village can have time to escape. One hidden. Do you want to be so outrageous? Ninetales is the strongest tail beast. Even he can't escape the temptation of Aike. Terumi may. No, it should be said that the dishes made by Aike are so magical. After all, wasn't Orochimaru, who was fleeing for his life, also attracted by this? Sarutobi Hiruzen, according to this situation, will Ninetales eat the dishes made by Aike directly? So as to stop its destruction? Uchiha Madara, huh? Don't you guys find a point? It's already the time of this kind of chaos. Aike seems to be in a hurry. Uchiha Fugaku, exactly. Ninetales have appeared, and he is not in the calm dish. Anoki, this kind of scene really makes the old man amazed. I dare not even think about it. Senju Hashirama, how fragrant is the mapo tofu? Ninetales is dripping all over the floor. Nahorlin, Obito probably can't figure it out. How can there be light in the pot? For a while, the audience was crazily complaining. Both Ninetales and Obito were attracted by Aike's mapo tofu, especially Ninetales, who always cared only about killing, suddenly turned into a hungry wild dog, and in the video. After looking at Aike's position for a while, Obito quickly withdrew his thoughts. After all, he hasn't forgotten what he is doing. Damn it. Ninetales, obey me. Destroy Konoha first. Immediately, Obito desperately began to instill pupil power, and Lui obeyed his command. Clap. The huge pupil power poured out. Ninetales' brain was gradually controlled, and his consciousness slowly dissipated. In the wild, it started to move its body involuntarily, destroying Konoha. It's just that, on the other side, the smell of Aike's cooking is also crazily disturbing, causing Ninetales to move extremely slowly, constantly stopping and going. It's like disconnecting at any time and reconnecting immediately. Obito collects and releases. It took a lot of stamina. Within a few minutes I was out of breath. Damn, what kind of power is this? Even Ninetales can interfere. There is no time to entangle here. Chapter 78 Start. Superman. Aike's cooking can dissolve hatred. Question mark. Deidara, FK, Trough. This woman is going to be with Master Aike, right? Surin, Hong is really a foodie. In order to eat, she would rather help Aike. Naruto, if it were me, I would be willing to serve such a chef. Sarutobi Hiruzen, I just don't know what dishes Aike will research and come out. I'm looking forward to it. Namikaze Minato, yes, it can make delicacies that Orochimaru and Ninetales want to eat, and the future development is unimaginable. Hidden, it is so simple to accept a Jonin thug. Will there be more such people around Aike in the future? Fourth Raikage, it is very possible. Maybe it can slowly form an unimaginable force. While everyone was discussing, the screen changed. Time flies, and the length of this research and development is staggering. In the blink of an eye, 5 years have passed. Inside the video in the morning, the sun had just risen. Konoha Village. Ichiraku Ramen Restaurant is still the same as before. Not much has changed in the kitchen. The grown-up Aike is busy preparing materials. Today's him has long since faded away from the immaturity and innocence of the past, become more mature and manly. The facial features are also more three-dimensional and distinct, and beside Aike, there is a slim girl with a proud figure. That is Anko. She was smiling, gentle and virtuous. To help, the two often exchanged glances and smiles. It seems that the relationship has been extremely close. Deidara, it's been too long this time. 5 years have passed like this. Kakashi, good guy. 5 years of research and development? What has Aike's cooking skills become? Black soil. Could it be so direct that it can control people's hearts? Terumi May, it's been so long. Maybe. Tsunade, I'm more curious about the relationship between these two people. Anko's eyes seem to be more than just assistants in the discussion of everyone. Soon, today's first guest came, and I saw him with gold hair and 6 beards on his face. It is Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto came in crying, and sat in the corner with an uncomfortable face. Anko hurried over, then patted Naruto on the shoulder and asked, "What's wrong? Naruto, you've been crying so early in the morning." Naruto sobbed, "I was bullied again. They all called me a monster, and said I was a fox who killed many people in the village, but I haven't harmed anyone, woo woo woo." Aike also came out at this time, then touched Naruto's head, and comforted him gently. "It's okay, don't listen to their nonsense. It happens that you are the first guest, let me make you a bowl of soup." Anko also smiled and pinched Naruto's face and said, "That's right, Naruto is so cute, how could he be a girl? Wait until Aike big brother cooks something delicious for you." Afterwards, Aike entered the kitchen and began to tinker. Not long after, he brought out a cantaloupe and placed it in front of Naruto. Naruto looked left and right suspiciously, then asked, "What is this? Isn't it just a piece of fruit?" Aike explained, "It's bouncing turtle soup, a soup that's very practical for you." Practical? Naruto looked surprised. "Do you feel that your temper can be easily irritable at times, and once you get angry, a different chakra will leak out of your body?" After thinking about it carefully, Naruto nodded, "I have this symptom, but how did you know?" Aike smiled slightly, and continued, "It's all because of the 9 tails in your body, so I added a special chakra to this soup, which can effectively soothe 9 tails' emotions and make it more docile. That way, you won't feel sick." Hearing this, the audience in the live broadcast room was dumbfounded. Kakashi, hey, what is Aike talking about? His soup can soothe 9 tails, third rakeage, I'll go. Why can chakra be so awesome? Little Sakura, isn't the point that Aike can extract chakra? It seems that he has grown in the past 5 years. Anoki, I think watching must be comforting Naruto. Tailed beasts are manic and restless, and it is impossible to comfort them. Let alone drinking soup. Luoshak, yes, it is impossible for such a thing to happen in this world. It must be just to give Naruto psychological comfort, so as to affect his mood as a kind of psychological therapy. Uchiha Madara, HMPH, a bunch of ignorant guys are judging Aike here? Don't you believe that he did so many horrible things before? Senju Hashirama, that's true. Don't use common sense to think about this matter. Anyway, I believe in Aike. Deidara, you must believe it. Did it 9 tails attract you before? 5 years later, isn't it normal for Master Aike to research dishes that make 9 tails less irritable? Chapter 79 Heaven Defying. Danzo 3rd generation apologize to each other and get back together. Then, in the video, news of the reopening of Ichiraku Ramen restaurant spread quickly. Arrived the next day. Many people heard the news and came to line up for dinner at the peak. The queue even reached the gate of the village. The popularity of the business made the audience in the live broadcast room dumbfounded, and Naruto insisted on running to drink the soup made by Aike every day. His spirit is getting better and better. The living environment of the 9 tails in the body is more and more like a place where people live. The channel became brighter and the stagnant water had dissipated. The iron rods of the cage are also slowly getting thinner. Looking up, the big hole in the ceiling is getting bigger and bigger. Multiple beams of bright sunlight are penetrating from above. 9 tails is getting more and more comfortable in his cage. I often lie there and sleep quietly. No more manic situations. In the live broadcast room, some viewers were a little emotional when they saw this scene. Amoke's Minato. Naruto's condition is getting better and better. 9 tails is really getting more and more docile. Aike's cooking is like magic. Kukuna, yes, woohoo. I'm so touched. I really appreciate Aike. This way, Naruto will be more receptive to 9 tails chakra. Temari, I never thought that a tailed beast could become as docile as a cat. Iruka, has the hatred really been slowly resolved? If more people drink this soup, wouldn't it reduce the disputes in the ninja world a lot? Uchiha Madara, that's right, this is also Aike's original ideal, to bring peace to the ninja world, and it is gradually being realized. Inside the video this evening there are very few pedestrians on the street. There are only 1 or 2 customers left in the Uchiha ramen restaurant at this time. Danzo, who was blindfolded with one eye, walked into the salesman with his hands behind his back, expressionless, and gloomy. Behind him, there are 2 followers of Danzo, whom Konoha is familiar with. Yamanaka wins and Abiram take root. After the 3 walked in before ordering, he immediately muttered in a low voice, "What should I do now? Is the next step still to continue the assassination?" Abiram took the root and shook his head, sighed and said, "It can't be done. It has already been discovered by the 3rd generation project. If I go again, I might fall into the trap set by the 2nd generation project. Next time, I'm afraid he won't easily turn to us." Yamanaka frowned and said, "Hey, it's really hard." Abiram also sighed, "No way, after all, it's a big deal to assassinate Hokage." 723. Heard the 2 people's discussion, and many viewers in the live broadcast room immediately started discussing it enthusiastically. Naruto, damn. What are these 2 people talking about? Assassination of Hokage, 4th Raikage, Konohas are awesome. I remember this person is Danzo. It seems to be the assistant of Hokage, Terumi Mei. 0, what? Hokage assists in assassinating Hokage? Do you want to be so exciting? 2nd Mizukage, what the hell? Why is Konoha village so messed up? Kakashi, it should be shortly after Danzo assassinated 3rd generation, but the 2 discussed it in the store like this. Anoki, hey. These people really have nothing to fear. Luoshak, no wonder Danzo has a dark face. It turns out he was angry and didn't kill 3rd Hokage. Jiraiya, seriously, it's all because our 3rd generation is too benevolent. We were assassinated, and we all know who did it, but we didn't try to get it back, and chose to forgive him. Tsunade, HMPH, how can he be kind? He is simply cowardly, afraid of causing trouble. Deidara, this old boy Danzo really wanted to be Hokage all the time. I remember he rebelled without hesitation in the last video. Senju Tabirima, Danzo, have you always hated my choice? Are you so unwilling to choose you as Hokage? Seeing this scene appear on the screen, Danzo and Sarutobi Hiruzen in Konoha's office were also extremely embarrassed. HMPH, it's absurd to actually play these things out, you want. Faye said something and went out to smoke. Danzo's face was black and he didn't say a word. Next, in the screen after hearing the 2 people discussing a little loudly, Danzo turned his head and gave the 2 subordinates a hard look. Idiot. Can this kind of thing be discussed outside? Yamanaka, Feng and Abiram took the root and quickly shut their mouths at this time. Anko smiled and walked over with a menu. Master. Danzo, what would you like to order today? Danzo said indifferently, let's just have a few signature dishes. Anyway, your place has been converted into a restaurant, and ramen is not the most important thing. Okay, just a second. Afterwards, Anko returned to the back kitchen and Aike has been tidying up the kitchen silently, without looking up at anyone until Anko walked over and told him what Danzo was going to eat. Only then did Aike start cooking in a leisurely manner. Less than 2 minutes. Anko brought up fried rice, tofu and cantaloupe. Danzo didn't bother to take a closer look, just picked up the spoon and took a bite. Chapter 81. Sasuke also let go of his hatred? Next, in the video on this day, it was raining lightly outside. In Aike's store, 2 more customers came. I saw Naruto with gold hair pulling a black-haired, black-eyed little boy with exquisite facial features into the store, and this little boy is Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke shook off Naruto's hand reluctantly, and said angrily, Naruto, why did you bring me here? You said I'm not hungry, eat. Naruto said with a smile, don't be so stranger. The food made by Aike Big Brother is delicious, and it will make you feel comfortable, and you won't think too much about troubles. Sasuke said with a straight face and disdain, mind your own business. You don't need to meddle in my business. With that said, Sasuke was about to leave, but Naruto grabbed Sasuke tightly. Just try it once, you don't feel good after eating it. Anyway, I won't eat dead people. In the end, Sasuke was forced to follow Naruto into the store and sat down under Naruto's soft and hard pressure. Seeing this, many viewers in the live broadcast room, especially Konoha's attention, immediately began to discuss Kakashi. Hey, Naruto like this, is it out of good intentions to help resolve Sasuke's hatred? Iruka, that's right. He has tried it himself, so he wants to make his friends better. Yu Hihong, but, is this really feasible? Sasuke's hatred is extraordinary. Hyuga Hayashi, I find it difficult. Sasuke witnessed that incident at a very young age. How could he forgive his brother easily? Anko, that's right. Although I also believe that the soup made by Ike has miraculous effects, I'm afraid it won't work on a black and disabled person like Sasuke. That incident is too hard to let go. Uchiha Madara, what are you all talking about? What about that? What happened to this kid in my Uchiha family? It even makes you think that Ike's cooking is useless. Uchiha Fugaku, this. Madara Patriarch, I don't know how to say it. Tsunade, actually it's nothing, just Sasuke's big brother, Uchiha Itachi wiped out the Uchiha clan, and now Sasuke is the only Uchiha in the village. Jiraiya, well, that's right, and Sasuke saw his parents being killed by Itachi at the beginning, so he felt that such hatred might be difficult to resolve. And hear this, the whole live broadcast room suddenly fell silent at this time. In the Netfield world, Uchiha Madara froze in place, as if being hit with a stick, unable to speak for a long time. What? Genocide? The Uchiha clan he was once proud of was completely killed. Moreover, he was killed by his own people? Uchiha Madara feels incomprehensible. When I died, didn't the clansmen live well in Konoha? Originally, he planned to wait until he was resurrected again just to draw all the people of the Uchiha clan to his side to conspire for great things. As a result, now I know that there is only one child left in the whole family. The key is that the person who did such a thing as extermination is actually one of his own. Immediately, he angrily cursed loudly in the live broadcast room. Uchiha Madara, Uchiha Itachi, UBD, have you lost your mind? Why do you want to kill your own people? Even your own parents won't let you go? Are you a beast? Uchiha Madara, you should feel honored to be part of the Uchiha clan. Why do you still have the evil idea of killing your own people? Are you mad? If the old man can be resurrected for one day, I will surely tear you to pieces. Uchiha Fugaku, hey, didn't dare to tell Madara Patriarch about this at that time. It's just that I was born with a sinful disorder. I'm not a filial son. Uchiha Tajima, Patriarch Madara. You have to decide for us. This BD Itachi took advantage of my unpreparedness to launch a sneak attack and kill my family. Uchiha Kunimitsu, that's right. I haven't had a date yet, but Itachi killed me with a sword. It's really disgusting. I don't usually provoke him. Uchiha Miking, woohoo. That night I was about to have dinner with my mother when he suddenly barged in. I don't know him well. Why did he kill me and my mother? Uchiha Mikado, hey, it's my fault. The discipline is not strict. Let him listen to other people's words. He is obsessed with ghosts. Chapter 81 Orochimaru, I don't want to destroy Konoha anymore. Next, in the video the camera pans out to the outside of Konoha village in a jungle. Orochimaru was instructing several of his subordinates to attack Konoha. About 5 minutes later, Yakashikabuto and others immediately dispersed and Orochimaru turned his head and squinted at Konoha village for a few seconds. Then, he also launched a transformation technique, disguised himself, and headed towards the gate. When he entered Konoha village, he came to the bustling street. Orochimaru stopped here, looking at this scene with some emotion because it is a Chunin exam, so the streets are busier than ever. People came and went, shouting. A lot of outsiders hang out here, laughing and joking. Many children wander around here and there. This reminds Orochimaru of his days in Konoha village. After watching for a while, Orochimaru suddenly thought of something and looked in a certain direction. Would you like to go and see that place? Hearing his words, the audience in the live broadcast room speculated. Is Orochimaru really going to Ike's store? Then, the camera turned. Orochimaru is already standing in front of the Ichiriko ramen restaurant with a calm face. He said in a low tone, after so many years, nothing has changed here. It's still the same as 503. Wonder if that boy has taken over his father's place. After standing in front of the door for a while, Orochimaru walked into the shop. It's delicious. Boss, have another bowl of ramen. Ha ha ha. This is indeed a famous store. It's so delicious, boss. Pack 3 servings of fried rice. As soon as he came in, Orochimaru heard many customers adding food. The business in the store is booming. Orochimaru shook his head, then looked at the boy who was busy in the kitchen with a slight smile. He recognized at a glance that that person was the little guy who made himself a bowl of ramen back then. Now he has grown up. Afterwards, due to the snake attachment, he found an empty seat and sat down. At this moment, Anko came over with a smile and said, "My guest, what do you need to eat?" Orochimaru looked up and recognized Anko immediately. Although he was a little surprised in his heart, his demeanor on the surface didn't change much. Anko is here too. Moreover, it seems that he has become a waiter here, just when he was stupefied. Anko continued to smile and said, "Hi, it's your first time visiting our store, right? We have ramen, fried rice, various soups, and other delicacies. Everything is delicious. This is the menu, you can choose the taste you like." Saying that, Anko carefully placed a menu in front of Orochimaru. Orochimaru couldn't help shaking his head inwardly. Is this still the murderous and ruthless Anko I know? The happy smile on the face is nothing more than that. The service is so thoughtful, completely turned into a very kind woman. Crucially, her acuity has also decreased a lot. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82 Aike, I'm going to set up a stall in the Zen Ninja world. Deidara got hit. Listening to Orochimaru's heartfelt words, Yakashi Kabuto and the four of them all looked at each other, dumbfounded. They feel like they are dreaming. I even wonder if the person in front of me is really Orochimaru. In the live broadcast room, many viewers were also stunned at this time. Deidara, ha. Orochimaru really came to his senses and regretted it. Black soil. No one can escape the effect of Aike's delicious food. Any grudges or grievances will disappear in an instant. Jiraiya, I never thought that Orochimaru would never forget a meal of ramen a few years ago. As a result, after Aike developed a dish to resolve hatred, Orochimaru came to the door again, and he was recruited, hidden. What the hell? Orochimaru was able to successfully launch an attack, but at the critical moment, he regretted it. Inoki, that's right. I'm so well prepared, why don't you just give up? Fourth Raikage, what a pity. Why did Orochimaru run to try Aike's food again? In this way, third Hokage won't die? Temari, but isn't our fourth generation project gone at this time? Grandma Chiyo, it should be. It's all here at Konoha? That boy Luosha must have been killed long ago. Luosha, damn it. Just stop invading like this? Did the old man die in vain at your hands? Niji, is it a coincidence or fate? Kakashi, thanks to Aike, I somehow saved Konoha and the third generation. Inside the video, after Orochimaru finished speaking, he didn't stay here any longer, and left with a group of dumbfounded subordinates at this time. Anko also knew that the man just now was Orochimaru. 08 The opponent still wanted to attack Konoha, but, for some reason, he gave up. Anko was just surprised for a while, and then didn't think much about it. After all, she is no longer the ignorant girl she once was. She also has her own home, a man she likes. She didn't care about anything else in the past. Shortly after Orochimaru left, the Ichiriko ramen restaurant also closed in the shop. After packing up, Aike sat there, a little dazed. Anko walked over at this time, rubbed Aike's shoulder with his hands, and said softly, "What are you thinking? Are you tired today?" Aike shook his head, sighed and said, "I was thinking, there's still too much hatred in the ninja world. After so many years, Orochimaru also came back again, ready to take revenge. If, today, he didn't eat those few dishes that can dissolve hatred from me, then Konoha will probably be bloody tomorrow. I don't know how many people will die." Anko leaned on Aike and said helplessly, "That's true, but we can't help it. We can't let everyone eat your dishes and let them all resolve their hatred." Aike nodded, then stood up. He looked at Anko seriously, and said firmly, "I want to open branches in all 5 countries. Now, it's only in Konoha. It's really impossible to let many people eat the food I make. However, if my restaurant opens to various places in the ninja world, wouldn't that allow more people to eat it? In this way, many hatreds in the ninja world will be resolved relatively faster." Hearing this, many viewers in the live broadcast room were immediately excited. Deidara, ow. It's about to start. It's really about to start. Master Aike is about to make a big move. Naruto, actually, we are going to open branches in 5 major countries. This is so exciting. Kakashi, in this way, it is true that more hatred can be resolved faster. He too, it really deserves to be Aike. He cares about everyone, and it's his performance time. Hidden, I'm going. Konoha village can't stay any longer, and I'm going to the ninja world to accept younger brothers. Inoki, to be honest, I am really looking forward to whether those big villains from the Akatsuki organization will turn their backs on the dark and turn to the light after eating Aike's food, and become truly kind people. Chapter 83 Off the charts. The filial son repents. Sasuke forgive. See this the mouths of Kisame and Uchiha Itachi in Akatsuki's organization. Kokuzu couldn't help but twitch. Both of them looked at Pain with some complaints at the same time. Number 7. Why did you choose the two of them at that point in time? Doesn't this mean that you will also suffer? Deidara laughed wildly beside him and said, just laughed at me. Can you still laugh now? I can wait for you two to look regretful. Hiden breathed a sigh of relief. Thank you, leader. I wasn't allowed to go with Kokuzu-san this time. The others nodded and looked at Pain gratefully. If I go here, I will definitely enter Aike's store. That is a place where sins are baptized. It's really embarrassing to regret and cry when the time comes. Next, in the video the camera turns still in a border town in the land of winds. Uchiha Itachi and Kisame walked slowly down the street. The two looked stern, observing from left to right. Soon, they came to a Chiriko ramen restaurant. Kisame sneered and said, according to the investigation, Deidara appeared here at the end, and then disappeared. Itachi had no expression on his face, and said indifferently, go in and have a look. At this time, because it was still very early, the business in the store was still normal. After entering, Itachi and Kisame searched around. It was found that there was only one young chef in the shop. The two found a seat at random and sat down. Boss, here are 2 ramen noodles. Aike, who was busy, turned his head and glanced at Kisame and Itachi. Then he said with a smile, okay, please wait a moment. In the process of Aike making ramen, Kisame asked calmly, boss, have you seen a young man with blonde hair wearing the same clothes as us before? While cooking, Aike said in a responsive way, oh, the guest you mentioned, he came here once and ate here, but he hasn't seen him since then. Kisame nodded, then continued to ask, when he came, was there anything special? Aike frowned, then shook his head and said, the guest was a bit grumpy. He planted a bomb in front of the door, scaring away all my guests. Ghost? Shark froze for a moment, then shook his head. He could imagine Deidara doing something like this. Then, Itachi also asked, boss, where did he go after eating here, do you know? Aike thought for a while and said, I remember he said he wanted to go home and miss those people in his own village. Hearing this, Itachi and Kisha felt puzzled. Deidara is so careless, a lunatic who spends all day thinking about art explosions. Is he homesick? Isn't the boss just teasing them? But seeing that the boss was young, he didn't seem to be able to lie, so they didn't ask any more questions. Soon, the ramen was served. 2, please take it easy. After Aike put it down, he went back to the kitchen and continued to work. Kisame held the chopsticks and said to Itachi beside him, that kid Deidara really showed up here. It's just that he wanted to go home suddenly. What happened? His head was caught by the door. Itachi shook his head. He was also puzzled by Deidara's situation. Ghost Shark put a chopstick of noodles in his mouth, and then his eyes lit up. Chapter 84 Konoha's Rebellion. Trick Nagato into eating. See here, the audience in the live broadcast room were all dumbfounded. Terumi May, this is the perfect ending? Konoha won't hold Itachi accountable anymore. Black soil. Logically speaking, Itachi made such a big mistake, so why should he be punished? But seeing third Hokage like this, I feel very happy. I don't even mention the past. Anoki, looking at his kind appearance, if you don't know, you think wrong is someone who has made great contributions to Konoha? Hidden, hey. I suspect that the death of the Uchiha clan has something to do with third Hokage. Uchiha Fugaku, there must be. Itachi had been working in Anbu at the beginning, and he was probably brainwashed by Konoha's high level, so he did those things. Uchiha Madara, HMPH. This group of Konoha people should be damned. If I have the chance, I will visit Konoha in person. Senju Hashirama, this does seem to be so interesting. Monkey, did you really participate in that matter? Sarutobi Hirozen, I don't have one. First generation. Don't listen to their random guesses. Danzo, this is obviously because everyone was influenced by Aike's cooking and forgave each other. Naruto, this is too outrageous. Sasuke is actually hugging his brother? I can't even think about it. Countless audiences were trembling all over. No one thought that this filial son who exterminated his clan would not only not be punished, but even forgiven when he returned to the village, cleaned it up straight away. Then, the video continues to play. The camera turns. Rain Shinobi Village. Akatsuki's secret base. Pain frowned, looked at the crowd with some doubts and said, it's been 3 days, haven't there been any news from Itachi and Kisame? Konan, on the side, shook his head, and said calmly, no, since they entered the small town on the border of the Kingdom of Wind, they have completely lost contact. Pain pondered for a moment, and then ordered, Looks like maybe something happened to them too. Scorpion, hidden. You two go check it out again. Remember, no matter what, within 2 days, you must send a message back. 173 Scorpion and Hidden nodded and took orders to leave at this time, in the Akatsuki organization outside the video. With a bitter face, Hidden shouted sadly, "It's over, even I want to go? I really can't escape now." Scorpio is also eclipsed. Interfere, don't. Embarrass me too much, Deidara. On the side applauded loudly, ha ha ha. It seems that we are all going to fall into the hands of Master Aike. It's getting more and more interesting. Next, in the video 3 days later, Zio organization Pain walked back and forth in the base very anxiously. What happened? No news from Hidden and Scorpion. Conan sighed helplessly. For some reason, this time is the same as the previous 2 times. After they entered that small town, they disappeared completely. Needless to say, these 2 people must have been whitewashed then, just like Deidara's model, quit the Akatsuki organization, and repent in the village. Pain frowned, thinking for a long time. After that, he took a deep breath and said, Conan, you and Kokuzu go again. Remember, this time, don't act rashly. What's the matter? Come back and tell me. Conan nodded, and Kokuzu set off again. Today, the sky is cloudless in a small border town in the land of winds. Chapter 85. Nagato is whitewashed and became Aike's master of ceremonies. Next, in the video soon, Conan pushed a wheelchair, and Nagato came to the door of the store where Aike was. Nagato frowned and asked, "Is this the place? Where are the Kokuzu people?" Conan looked around, then calmly said, "Maybe still an ambush nearby. Let's go in and take a look first." Nagato didn't speak, but nodded silently. Immediately, the 2 entered the shop. Aike was busy in the kitchen when he raised his head and glanced. When he realized that Conan was actually pushing another person in, his eyelids twitched slightly, but then he said with a smile, "Welcome, what do you 2 want to eat?" Conan opened the mouth first. "Boss, let's have some side dishes." Aike nodded, then turned around and continued to work. After a few minutes, a dish of mapo tofu, golden fried rice, and Japanese ramen were scolded. "Please enjoy." Nagato nodded calmly. After Aike left, he went to the kitchen again. Nagato turned his head, looked at Conan and said, "There doesn't seem to be anything wrong here." Conan nodded. "Seems like it." Then she handed over a pair of chopsticks. "However, come here, let's try the food here first." Nagato had no doubts, and began to eat slowly under Conan's gaze, just like everyone else before. Nagato did not escape Aike's curse either. As I ate and ate, my eye sockets began to moisten. Rattling tears flowed down one drop after another. Conan stroked Nagato's back worriedly, and said with concern, "What's wrong, Nagato?" Nagato shook his head and continued eating. After eating more than half, he could no longer control the throbbing in his heart. Tears flowed down. "Conan, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for you." Conan was a little flustered. She didn't expect Nagato's reaction to be so big. Grabbing Nagato's shoulder quickly, No, you've been fine." Nagato shook his head, crying, "I've done so many wrong things. Yohiko's original dream was destroyed by me, and a murderous organization was established. I shouldn't be like this. We all just wanted to bring peace to the ninja world in the first place. However, now too many killings have been added. I was wrong, outrageously wrong. These years have made you tired." Listening to Nagato's story, Conan couldn't help but shed tears. "It's okay, we start again now, and there's still time. Nagato, let's go back to the beginning." Nagato nodded, choked up. Seeing this, the audience in the live broadcast room is already numb. Naruto, sending away another one. Chapter 86. Shocked. All ninja women begged to be called Aike's husband. Just when everyone was complaining in disbelief, soon, on the screen 20 years have passed. The camera turns, the breeze was blowing, and the sun was just rising. The door of the Ichiriko ramen restaurant was open. Middle-aged, but young-looking Aike came out of the shop. Then a long lazy waist was born. Oops. Another good day. The villagers passing by also greeted warmly at this time. "Boss. AI, you still got up so early today. Yo, is the door open?" Aike, remember to leave 2 servings of fried rice for me later, and take them home with you. Aike smiled and nodded in response to everyone. At this time, a person walked towards him. This person was thin, with white hair, but half of his face seemed to be scalded, with old lines. He smiled and said, "Morning, Aike, what's for breakfast today?" Aike smiled and said, There is a new product today, I will try it later, Obito. That's right, the man who just appeared is Uchiha Dewang. Seeing that Obito actually appeared, the audience in the live broadcast room were stunned. However, it hasn't waited for everyone to complain. In the picture, Kakuzu, whose appearance has not changed from 100 years ago, walked over from the side next. Uchiha Itachi, Hidden, Kisame, those members of Zinxio organization, except Itara, unexpectedly all appeared in Konoha village. Moreover, they 033 greeted Aike enthusiastically. Obviously they all lived in Konoha and became a member of this place. Yuhihong, well, these terrorists are actually living in Konoha village. Deidara, what the hell? Everyone ran to Konoha except me? You all stayed near Master Aike's shop, right? Hidden, I'm going. I've become Konoha's man. Anoki, you guys were washed away by Aike's delicious food, and it's okay for Konoha to understand. What's going on in this area? How did he clean it up? Kakashi, exactly. I just saw Obito for the first time. I thought he was looking for trouble again. Anko, damn it. This guy used to be the culprit who deceived his master and killed his ancestors and killed the family of the 4th generation. How could he appear in our village so easily? Sarutobi Hiruzen, that's right. This kind of BD should be executed immediately, and he shouldn't be forgiven. The old man's daughter-in-law was killed by this guy. 4th Raikage, HMPH, didn't Uchiha Itachi also be forgiven by your 3rd generation project, Luoshak? It can only be said that the people in Konoha village have big hearts. These people who have been directors who have done harm to the world can accept it, which is amazing. Kakuzu, Obito launched the Nine Tails Rebellion, causing so many people to die in Konoha village, and they are wandering around Konoha as if nothing happened. Unbelievable. Namokaze Minato, hey, all of this may be the result of Aike's food for diffusing hatred. Even if he commits a heinous crime, he will be forgiven by everyone. Kyusukina, this is unbelievable. This wave of Aike directly made the whole ninja world let go of hatred and live in harmony, which stunned everyone, and at this moment inside the video the curtain was drawn. A slim, slender woman with exquisite facial features also came out of the shop. She looked at Aike with a smile and said, "Honey, I'm going to buy some fresh vegetables." Is seeing this person, the audience in the live broadcast room were stunned. Naruto, this is Teacher Anko. Kakashi, damn, trough. This mature woman who still maintains an excellent figure and looks about 30 is actually Anko? Are you kidding me? Jiraiya, no way? Just now I thought it was the daughter of Aike and Anko. Hidden, hey. How did you maintain this figure? In a life without Aike, Anko is already a fat woman at this time. Hitu, is she in her 40s now? Why does she look a little older than me? Kyusukina, could it be that Aike's cooking has the effect of maintaining youth? Otherwise, it's really unreasonable. Little Sakura, I really envy Teacher Anko. Anoki, no? I think it should be Anko's happiness, the effect of regular exercise and maintenance. Tsunade, that's right. It's surprising to find a dish that can resolve hatred, but if you can also come up with a dish that keeps you young and beautiful, it's off the charts. Temari, no matter what, Anko like this is worthy of envy and hatred. Chapter 87. The comparison is over. Otsutsuki Starman is dispatched. Then, the camera turned in the store. A group of people has surrounded Taoshi and Peach. After eating a few of the dishes Aike made at this time, the face is full of happiness and intoxication. The previous indifference has long since disappeared, even bragging with everyone. Oops. I really am an alien. I've said it all. I came here to pick the fruit of the god tree. Where did I expect you to be so enthusiastic? 3rd generation asked kindly. What fruit of the sacred tree? Others also listened with relish. Taoshi waved his hand and said, the divine tree is the divine tree. It's just that I don't know why that guy Kaguya is gone, and the sacred tree doesn't seem to grow, so it hasn't been picked. I originally said to replant a sacred tree, but now I think about it, it's an honor to meet you kind people here today. After I go back, I will definitely inform my clansmen and bring them to eat here when I have time. Everyone is friendly, and we will be friends in the future. Hearing this, the audience in the live broadcast room immediately began to complain crazily. Deidara, damn. This face-changing speed is too fast. A second ago, she was murderous, but now she becomes so amiable. Luoshak, I have to say that the influence of Aike's food is beyond imagination. Even aliens can't handle it. Anoki, the behavior of this white-faced man really makes people laugh. He obviously came to make trouble, but he was slapped in the face. And he still wants to be friends with people like Konoha or Orochimaru. The key point is that he was instigated by himself, and he also brought people from his own planet. Chatting, it's really getting more and more interesting. Hidden, ha ha ha. Look at his nonsense appearance, which is in stark contrast to the initial indifference. Kakashi, I really don't know how the person involved will feel when they see this scene. Kokuzu, that must be embarrassing. The key point is that his accomplice must also feel extremely ashamed at the moment. Uchiha Madara, HMPH, this group of people thought they were extraordinary, but they were fooled by a delicious meal. Jiraiya, seriously, this person looks like a fool at the moment. He's talking too much. For a moment, everyone in the live broadcast room went crazy. Momoshi came to the ninja world aggressively, and ended up with a meal just mingled directly with the residents of the ninja world. He was still talking nonsense, shaking out his family fortune. It is unimaginable. At this time, on the star Otsutsuki Jinshi, Yishi and a group of people all stared at Taoshi with glaring eyes. BD. Look what you're doing, Taoshi. Why are you so ashamed? You were taken aback by the other party before, but now you've become a chatterbox. Tao. She looked the most embarrassed right now. How did he know that after eating Ike's food, he became that ghost? I don't want to either. Damn. It's really bad. I must find this guy named Ike. Next, in the video this time, Ike's life has almost come to an end. Many years later in Konoha's ward, Ike, with white hair and an old and frail face, was lying on the bed. His life has come to an end. Chapter 88. A new comparison begins. The target is a scorpion. And while everyone was still talking about it, suddenly, the system's voice sounded again. This comparison ends here. A new round of comparison will start in 20 seconds. Hearing this, the audience in the live broadcast room gradually became quiet. Everyone slowly adjusted their mentality and focused on the screen again. Soon, the countdown is over. The comparison begins, randomly selecting the identity of the intervener. Ike, choose success. The identity of the other party was drawn this time. Tsunagakure, the younger brother of the Red Sand Scorpion. The reference character for this comparison, the Red Sand Scorpion. Seeing this, the audience in the live broadcast room immediately started discussing again. Grandma Chiyo, this time, you actually compared it to my grandson, Kankuro. I heard that Scorpion's puppetry was very strong in our village, and he killed the third generation, third Kazakage, HMPH. The old man was attacked by him. This guy is my Tsunagakure traitor. What is the comparison, Anoki? Then Ike is likely to save Scorpion this time and lead him to the right path, right? Sarutobi Hirozen, that's right. It's probably the same as when I was Niji's younger brother. Tirumi Mei. Anyway, Scorpion is now a member of the Akatsuki organization and is very powerful. At least Ike won't know how to use ninjutsu this time like in his life just now. Deidara, oh. What a pity. Master Ike may have to inherit Brother Z's art this time. Temari, wow. That's great. Finally the one who let Ike interfere with our Tsunagakure. I should have a chance to marry Ike this time, right? Luoshak, cough cough. The age gap between you and him is at least 20 years old. Impossible. Temari, so what? Age is not a problem. While everyone was discussing Zio organization, Scorpion was also a little dazed at this moment. He didn't expect it to be his turn this time. The key is that he still has some secrets. If this is played, won't it all be exposed? The heart of the Scorpion is extremely restless. Deidara at the side enthusiastically patted Z on the shoulder and said, Brother Scorpion, this time you will show your talents, and you may very well become the ruler of the ninja world. With the help of Master Ike, your life is absolutely wonderful. Z glanced at Deidara indifferently. Let's go. Deidara pursed her lips, and let go of her hands unhappily. Then, not long the live broadcast also started. The first one to play is naturally the reference character, Scorpion's life. Wow. Accompanied by a few crisp cries. Scorpion was born fair skin, lovely looks, red hair. It looks very cute. Mother-in-law Chiyo is holding the young Scorpion, and both Scorpion's parents are very happy. However, the picture changed when Scorpio was 3 years old. The second ninja war broke out. Sand Shinobi engages Konoha. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89. 3-year-old Ike, I want to be a puppet. Next, In the video, Scorpion sneaked into Tsunagakure with Deidara and captured Gaara after just leaving Tsunagakure. Kankuro catches up. A fight broke out between the two because the three puppets Crow, Sanjiao Fish and Black Ant used by Kankuro are also made of scorpions. Therefore, in the battle with Kankuro, Vice Admiral easily saw through his moves and defeated Kankuro without any effort. Then, not long, Grandma Chiyo and Hiruno Sakura also chased after her. Scorpion confronted the two again in battle. Grandma Chiyo used puppetry to treat little Sakura as a puppet and smashed the Scarlet Scorpion hiding, revealing her real body. This made Chiyo's mother-in-law dumbfounded. In any case, she never expected that the Scorpion would also refine her body into puppet subsequently. The Scorpion took out the third Kazakage puppet to fight, and Grandma Chiyo took out the puppets that Scorpion made of her parents to fight against. After the two sides fought for a while, the puppets of third Kazakage are so strong that they can perform all kinds of ninjutsu in life. The Chiyo mother-in-law who fought is losing every day. It's just that Scorpion didn't expect that little Sakura could break his toxin. As a result, third Kazakage's puppet was smashed by the little Sakura immediately afterwards. Grandma Chiyo immediately took out the white secret technique, Kinmatsu, and 10 people attacked Scorpion. On the other hand, used the secret skill of Red and 100 machines to fight against it. Boom boom boom. Although the 100 machines exercise is indeed very strong, but finally Grandma Chiyo succeeded in a surprise attack with father and mother dolls. It pierced the regeneration nucleus of the Scorpion, which is the heart of the Scorpion. In the end, the Scorpion died on the spot. Seeing this, the audience in the live broadcast immediately started talking. Kakashi, I have to say, this genius puppet master is still very strong. These few battles are very exciting. Little Sakura. Alice. It's a pity that no one can escape from the embrace of their parents. Jiraiya. That's right. As expected of joining the Akatsuki organization, the strength is above the level of Shiandang. Kankuro. It's really admirable that he can use 100 machines to perform 463. No one in the village has reached this level at present. Temari. Hey, what a sad life. He seems to have nothing but puppetry. Terumi May. That's right. I ended up dying at the hands of my grandma, and it's a worthy death. Chiyo. Hey, look forward to the life that Aike interferes with. Can change the Scorpion. Then, not long in the live broadcast room. The first video has finished playing, and the second video will be played next. That is, the video after Aike interfered. Hearing this, everyone continued to discuss heatedly. Deidara. Haha. Master Aike is finally coming to interfere in Brother Scorpion's life. I'm so looking forward to it. What will happen? Tsunade. This time Aike will definitely have the talent for puppetry. I hope he can perform super normally again and lead the ninja world to peace. He too. However, I'm afraid that Aike's husband will be swayed by a Scorpion later. I hope Aike won't learn how to make human corpses into puppets. That's just too scary. Urian. Well, that's true. Such a person is indeed terrifying. I hope that after Aike interferes in his life, he will change the Scorpion instead of being ruined by the Scorpion. Uchiha Madara. Well, Aike is kind-hearted, and will definitely change this person, and then lead their Tsunagakure people to the pinnacle of life. Inoki. That's right. Aike also has talent this time, and his strength will definitely become very strong, and he will probably rule the ninja world again. Senju Hashirama. Haha. Let's wait and see. Not long the video also continues to start playing. Tsunagakure Chiyo's house. Wow wow wow. Chapter 98 seems a little different this time, a little spooky, and a little evil. The audience in the live broadcast room were all shocked at this moment. Deidara. FK. Trough. Master Aike even took the initiative to learn how to manipulate human puppets. Anko. Ow. Why is Aike's husband like this? My thinking is completely wrong. Yuhi Hong. I thought Aike would stop Scorpion from making human puppets in his life this time, but he himself proposed to learn? This, Kakashi. It seems that Aike will also fall into darkness, right Jiraiya? His obsession is no less than that of a Scorpion. You have to stop. Otherwise, there will be big problems. Hidden. Hey. It's getting more and more interesting. I don't know what kind of things Aike will make. Naruto, it must be very exciting. Just like the bomb before, everyone was surprised that Aike would ask Z about human puppets. Originally they thought that Aike would block the Scorpion, but it seems to be the other way around. Next, in the video hearing Scorpion's refusal, he muttered dissatisfiedly, "Brother, I'm not young anymore. Besides, now that I can control the corpses of very large animals, there is no need to practice anymore." Z frowned, then thought for a while before slowly opening his mouth and saying, "Well, since that's the case, brother will tell you a little bit about the process of making human puppets. First of all, you need to have the corpse of the normal person. The stronger it is, the more powerful the puppet you will make. Secondly, you learn to take out the heart, lung lobes, intestines and other organs in the corpse, then peel it again and clean it up. Finally, after professional anti-corrosion treatment. In short, the process is quite complicated, and there can be no mistakes, otherwise the puppet material produced will be very affected. It's too early for you. When I first started doing these things, it didn't go very well. Hear what Scorpion said about this process. Most of the audience in the live broadcast room were stunned. People who are still in the world can't even help but feel nauseous. This, just thinking about this process makes one's scalp tingle. Little Sakura, I can't, I'm already retching. It's terrible. Naruto, this Scorpion speaks so calmly, it seems that he has done many such things. Hidden, that's inevitable. Aren't the puppets shown by Big Brother Scorpion all human puppets? Tsunade, it's really cruel. I don't have any courage in my heart, so I gave up at the first step. Jiraiya, this kind of practice is really against human ethics. People who can do these things have extremely dark hearts. Terumi May, after hearing this, Aike should give up immediately, and then decisively stop Scorpion. Right, he too, for sure. What a kind person Aike is. He will never do such a cruel and inhumane thing. Kankuro, even though I am also a puppeteer, I really don't dare to manipulate corpses like this. Chiyo, hey. I hope Aike never learns from it. While everyone was talking about it inside the video, after hearing what his brother said, Aike also remained silent for a long time, lost in thought. Afterwards, he bid farewell to Scorpion and left alone. Seeing this, many viewers were a little puzzled. Why didn't Aike refute Scorpion immediately? What is he thinking? And I always feel that Aike this time seems to have a slightly different feeling. In the previous Bombs in Cooking, he was very positive, but this time, I always feel that there is an inexplicable sense of weirdness in Aike's eyes. Next, in the screen after returning home, Aike was silent and didn't think about eating or drinking, either sit there in a daze, or lie motionless. It was like this for 2 days in a row. This makes some viewers can't help worrying. Yu-Hyung, what's wrong with Aike? Was he frightened by Scorpion's words? Chapter 91. Step into the restricted area. Aike steals corpse maker puppet. This is a very perfect human puppet, with exquisite workmanship in the later stage, which is almost the same as a real person. There are many hidden doors around the body. Aike's eyes were shining now. Keep an eye on this puppet. It was as if he had entered a world that only belonged to him. Observe from the top of the puppet's head to the feet, and pay attention to every finely crafted detail. Time seems to be frozen. Aike is completely immersed in his observation. Until an hour later, Scorpion was about to go out, so he reminded, okay, it's almost done, I'm going out for a while. Aike reluctantly withdrew his gaze, then smiled and said, okay, then I'll go back first. After speaking, he stepped back and walked out. The Scorpion also shook his head helplessly. When he got home, Aike fell into deep thought again. He sat on the edge of the bed, savoring something foolishly. Seeing this, the audience in the live broadcast room immediately started discussing Kakashi. See, looking at this situation, Aike is completely fascinated by the puppet, Anoki. He seems to be more obsessed with human puppets than scorpions. He observed very carefully just now, without blinking twice, and kept staring. Urian, it's not just that. When I left, I was very reluctant, and I have been thinking about this meeting. 970, Hitu, oh. Aike, wake up. You can't go on like this, Anko. Exactly. Aike, you are here to save Scorpion. How can you be influenced by him? It is very, very immoral to be a puppet producer. Sarutobi Hirozen, hey, Aike in this life may really fall into a crooked way. Maybe he will make himself into a puppet in the future. Hidden, ha. Isn't this kind of Aike interesting? Little Sakura, no. That's not okay. That's too weird. Seeing that Aike is very obsessed with human puppets, everyone is also worried if this really develops like this. What will Aike look like? Will it be the same as the Scorpion? Make yourself into a puppet. Next, in the video, in the middle of the night, the village was quiet and Aike's door opened again. He sneaked another trip to the morgue. Then, in my bathroom, Aike lit the candles, and began to pick out the skin and heart again. For 3 nights in a row, he did this repeatedly. However, in the end, Aike still failed. This scene made many viewers really more and more worried. Aike seems to be going farther and farther on the road of learning puppetry, and on the morning of the 4th day, Aike went out and came to a breakfast shop to eat. He heard the 2 guards he met last time muttering, Last time the corpse disappeared, it was true. In the past 2 days, 3 people have disappeared in a row. Someone must be stealing the corpse. The higher-ups were alarmed and said that they must be strictly guarded. Hey, who has nothing to do with stealing the corpse? I don't know. Hurry to eat and take over. The task is very heavy these 2 days. The two finished their breakfast in a hurry, and then left in a hurry. Regarding this, Aike's face did not change at all. He finished his meal quietly, checked out and left. Chapter 92. The first humanoid puppet is born. Aike's technology is close to that of a scorpion. And Aike didn't know about it. He devoted himself wholeheartedly to the process of making human puppets go to bed during the day every day, wake up refreshed at night, and then start busy a series of actions from skinning, cramping, to drying the corpse. It took him 2 weeks to gradually master it. Afterwards, Aike began to seriously turn corpses into puppets. This process is very difficult, as Scorpion said. The structure of the human body is very complex. It is a very deep knowledge to control people and puppets well. While doing research by himself, Aike occasionally consults bats in this way. Another 2 months passed. In the middle of the night one day, in a dimly lit room, a young girl appeared in front of Aike, about 1.6 meters tall, with a slender and well-proportioned body, dry skin, slender arms and dry hair, like dead branches. If you look closely, the expression on the face has been fixed, but on the edge of the mouth and around the eyes, there are faintly etched marks artificially. If you look closely, there are extremely delicate screws and steel wires in the muscles and joints. She was fixed in front of Aike, motionless, lifeless, and Aike, after looking at the woman for a while, a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth inadvertently, and he looked at her fascinatedly. Afterwards, Aike was still standing on the table, and gently stroked the other person's cheek with his hand. This time, it finally succeeded. My first human puppet. 13. Seeing this, the audience in the live broadcast instantly exploded. Hidden nanny. This kid actually made it. Jiraiya. This is indeed a bit perfect. Yuhang. It looks really delicate. It's like a big toy. Hitu. That's right. Whether it's joints or skin, this is simply top-notch. Naruto. Me. My god. It looks so scary. Kankuro. It's really surprising. Even a scorpion can't make such a delicate puppet. Chiyo. If you only look at the appearance, then Aike's attainments in puppetry have reached a terrifying level. Temari. I just don't know how aggressive this puppet is. For a while, because the puppet made by Aike was too delicate, the audience in the live broadcast room were shocked. Zio Organization Scorpion was also dumbfounded at this time. Aike made this puppet really well done. Just this appearance alone makes him feel ashamed. This guy, have you finally embarked on this road of no return? Scorpion muttered to himself, his mind full of question marks. Next, in the video today, the sun is shining. Hot weather makes people irritable in Tsunagakure. However, it was chaos. Chapter 93. It started. Aike is going to raise the level of puppetry again. Then, the camera turns. Scorpion has come to the door of Aike's residence. Bang! Bang! After knocking on the door, squeak, the door was opened. Aike stuck his head out, looked at Z with a smile and said, "Brother, why are you here? Come on in." Then, the two entered the house together. Aike poured a cup of tea for Z and asked, "Brother, what are you doing today?" But Z looked around first, then turned his head, looked directly at him and said, "The village often throws dead bodies recently. Did you do it?" Aike nodded, and then calmly said, "Yes, in order to study the puppet, I can only do this." Z sighed and said, "Aike, you're still young. It's too early to get involved with making human puppets. Before you are discovered, you are not allowed to steal corpses in the future." Aike shook his head and said, "Brother, do you want to visit my basement?" Basement. Scorpion was a little surprised. After all, it is not the first time for Aike to come to this house. Never knew there was a basement here, and Aike didn't care too much. Just turn your head and press the switch on the wall. Wow. Next second, a secret door appeared on the ground. Seeing this, Z looked at Aike seriously. "This secret door didn't exist before, did it?" Aike nodded and said, "That's right, I just dug this myself not long ago." After speaking, he took the lead and walked down. Scorpion hesitated for 2 seconds, but also followed, and after entering the following, Scorpion's eyes widened suddenly, his face full of surprise, because what greets the eyes a magnificent and luxurious sight in the spacious underground space. Dozens of extremely exquisite human puppets are neatly arranged. Every puppet is a work of art. It seems to be a vivid human figure, lifelike. They are placed in different poses. Although the eyes are empty, They seem to have a soul-like existence. It seems that it can jump up by itself at any time, and because of the huge number, the rows look very powerful. Seeing this, the audience in the live broadcast room immediately became excited. Deidara, damn. In less than a month, right? Master Aike has developed so many human puppets. Yuhihong, oh my god. This is too spectacular. Little Sakura, yes. And all of them look scary. Every puppet seems to have life. Chiyo, the level of production is almost the same as the puppet of the scorpion, and Aike is only 4 years old now. The gap between the two is too big. Hidden, it's amazing. If these puppets are as strong as Brother Scorpion's puppets, then the young Aike is already as strong as me. Kakashi, if it continues like this, it's okay? Will he form a puppet army of 10,000 people in the future? Kankuro, am I blind? He made so many in one go? For a moment, everyone was extremely surprised. Rows of realistic human puppets make them all feel horrified. And in the video. Chapter 94, the Zen Ninja world breaks into cold sweat. What does Aike want to do this time? 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, time passed slowly. Aike is completely obsessed with his own research and can't extricate himself. Even food and water are transported by mouse puppets to the basement for storage. So far, he has basically never gone out again. Occasionally Scorpion would come to visit Aike, but no one answered when he knocked on the door. For a long time since Aike was in the basement, he didn't even notice the knock on the door, and after Z stopped in front of the door for a while, he didn't push the door directly to go in, turned around and left to go back to his own business. After all, he also wants to study his own puppet technique to enhance his own strength. The war has matured the Scorpion a lot. The parting that night made Scorpio very sad at that time. He clearly understood that he must become stronger. In that case, the group went to help their parents, and Chiyo, as the elder of Tsunagakure, is even more busy for the war, often work late, and even go out to perform tasks. I rarely have time to visit my 2 grandchildren still. Every once in a while she still took the time to let her 2 grandsons come to her house to sit and cook a delicious meal. In this way, each family is busy. Soon, a year has passed. And on this day, after finishing her work in the village, Chiyo immediately relaxed on the chair. Phew. The conflicts during this period of time have finally reduced a little. I don't know what happened to those 2 children, haven't seen them for months. Saying that, Chiyo immediately stood up and went out of the room. Soon, she came to Aike's residence, knocked on the door. However, no one responded for a long time. In response, Chiyo shook his head, and then went to the place where Scorpion lived. When she saw the Scorpion, she immediately smiled and asked what was going on. 490 After the chat, Chiyo asked again, Scorpion, have you seen Aike lately? I just went to the place where he lives. No one is at home, and I haven't seen anyone recently. Z frowned and said, I haven't seen him for almost half a year. The last time I saw him, it was Grandma who asked us to go to your house for dinner. Yeah, Chiyo was also a little puzzled. Then she enjoined, then go find him, tell him I bought some good food tomorrow, and I will pay for it. After speaking, Chiyo left because her grandson is studying puppetry. She knows it in the village. Chiyo is not worried about the safety of the 2 children at all, and Zu went to Aike's room immediately after he was busy with his own business. However, he knocked on the door for a long time, but no one opened the door. As a last resort, Dai pushed the door open and walked in. Aike, are you home? Scorpion observed the next 4 weeks and found no one at all. At this time, suddenly, Scorpion felt a little movement. He immediately looked around warily, and roared in a low voice, who? Come out. Chapter 95 Aike Technology Upgrade. Corpse can talk? He too, oh my god. What did Aike's husband say? Inside? What's inside, Naruto? What are the internal and external? You have already made such a realistic puppet, aren't you satisfied, Namikaze Minato? In my estimation. In simple terms, Aike wants to bring the puppet back to life, possessing the abilities of his own life, and even, Tsunade, even have consciousness in life. Little Sakura, how can such a thing be done? I know, I'm going. Why do you hear my hair stand on end? Kokuzu, a dead puppet regains the abilities and even the consciousness of his life? What is this, Jiraiya? To what extent is he obsessed with human puppets? Even scorpions are not so obsessed. Deidara, FK. Is Master Aike crazy? If that's the case, is the puppet he made still a puppet? Should it be considered a human? Scorpion, what the hell is he thinking about? Temari, Aike's road seems to be getting farther and farther, and it has completely fallen into darkness. Kankuro, that's right. Isn't a puppet a weapon used to defeat the enemy? Why do you still want to let the puppet have the ability of life? Isn't that the same as resurrection, Inoki? But, can such a puppet really be successfully made? Even if Sage of Six Paths is alive, it will be difficult for the puppet to regain its own consciousness, right? Senju Tabirama, that's right. Unless it's like the impure world reincarnation technique I developed before, you can borrow the living to resurrect the dead, but it's quite difficult. Senju Hashirama, the resurrected dead are not puppets, right? I think Aike has to find another way. Uchiha Madara, it depends on how he will do it. After all, Aike is very talented. He is still young and has time to study. At this time, the audience in the live broadcast room talked a lot. Everyone was shocked by what Aike said. According to the speculation of the bigwigs in the live broadcast room, Aike actually wanted to make the puppet have the original consciousness. In that case, is the puppet a person? Or a puppet? Zio organization. At this time, everyone also looked directly at Z, scrambling to ask questions. Brother Scorpion, if what Aike said can really be made, wouldn't a human puppet be very powerful? If you have self-awareness, you can also use your own ninjutsu. Isn't that scary? Scorpion, do you think that's really feasible? Scorpion, how does Aike's puppet making level compare with yours? Facing the questions from several people, Zu was silent for a moment. Then he nodded and said softly, in terms of technology alone, Aike has surpassed me. As for his idea, I'm afraid it will be difficult to realize. After all, it's too unbelievable to let a puppet regain its consciousness. I never thought about it. Next, in the video, Scorpio was equally shocked. He said in disbelief, how is that possible? The puppet is dead. How could it become conscious? You have very strange ideas, brother. You got too involved. However, Aike shook his head and said, it's okay. This is just my own simple thought at the moment. I will try it first, and if it doesn't work, I will give up. Scorpion nodded, and then continued, okay, anyway, according to my brother's experience, that kind of thing is absolutely impossible. You just give up as soon as possible. Grandma Kayande said that she will go to her house for dinner tomorrow. Remember, she hasn't seen you for a long time. Aike nodded and didn't say much afterwards. Z observed the lifelike female puppet for a while and then left. The next day, Aike was still busy in the basement of his room and his workbench was filled with several corpses. Aike continued to make human puppets carefully. 1 day, 2 days, he stayed in the room for several days in a row. Obviously, Aike is going to start the research on restoring the puppet's ability during his lifetime. However, no one knows whether it will be successful. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96. Parents died in battle. Aike was indifferent. Jiraiya, it started again. Aike's achievement is already the best now, right? Still thinking about restoring the original ability of the corpse. It's a bit of a fantasy. Inoki, that's right. Being able to make corpses speak normally is already considered a talent, and it's surprising. Sarutobi Hirozen, that's right. After all, they are all dead people, and there is no chakra in their bodies. How can they restore it? Or a Chimaru, dead people can't use ninjutsu. I see that Aike will go the same way as me sooner or later. Kankuro, isn't the main attack of the puppet a hidden weapon and mechanism? Aike's idea is too scary. Chiyo, after all, you are still young. You have to try it out and you will understand. Namake's Minato, even the 6 paths used by Nagato is not using their own original ninjutsu. Konan, that's true. After all, those people are dead, and all operations are secretly controlled by Nagato. Deidara, but this is also a unique point of Master Aike. Maybe he has a way, hidden, unless he can make friends with Shinigami, it's almost the same for him to cheat his corpse. Everyone did not believe that Aike could restore the ninjutsu that the corpse originally knew because that is simply impossible after death. There is nothing left but a body. Is it possible that the 370 Tao Aike can be fabricated out of thin air? At the same time, Aike in the picture also started his own retreat. He slowly dug open the corpse with a knife, and then studied the body structure inside. Sometimes Aike will also pass chakra into the corpse to see where it can pass. In this way, day and night alternate, day after day. Aike was once again endlessly engaged in new research in this period of time. Chiao also came 2 or 3 times. Every time she came, She would drag Aike straight out of the basement, then take it back to your own home and make some delicious food for the other party to replenish your body. From Chihiyo's point of view, Aike's state is obviously very wrong. Skinny, with black eyes, a weak gust of wind came over, as if he couldn't stand it and was about to fall down. His physical condition was very poor. Just every time after a full meal, Aike would leave immediately and go back to his basement to keep busy. No matter how Chihiyo persuaded him to stay, he couldn't keep it in this way. 2 months passed by today. The weather outside is sunny and hot, and in the basement of her house but dark and damp, full of eerie feeling at this time. A bloody corpse was lying on the workbench and Aike stood aside, eyes closed, and his hand is holding a bright red heart. Everyone couldn't help being a little curious. I don't know what Aike is doing then. Not long after, suddenly, Aike's hand twisted a certain part of his heart. Next second, the heart that was motionless unexpectedly beat a bit, then bang bang. Although the rhythm and strength of the beating are not strong, however, it actually moved. Moreover, as the heart kept beating, a massive blue light began to gradually envelop the heart. That's exactly chakra. The heart keeps beating, the frequency is even faster, and the blue light is also brighter. Chapter 97. Aike's 3 views exposed. The whole ninja world's scalp is numb. Come back from the morgue after identifying the body. Scorpion completely collapsed. Aike, on the other hand, remained expressionless, and the next morning in a room in the village, Scorpion was sitting on the bench, dazed alone. His eye sockets were bloodshot, showing signs of exhaustion and sadness, puffiness and dark circles under the eye sockets. Last night, Scorpion stayed up all night. The whole body appears tired, listless, full of sadness and pain. However, at this moment suddenly, 2 very familiar voices came. Son, why are you crying? Z, come here quickly. Our family hasn't eaten together for a long time. The Scorpion was all over for a while, and slowly raised its head. A middle-aged couple stood at the door of the house. At some point, they are the parents of Scorpio. Scorpion opened his mouth slightly, frowned, and stared at the 2 people in front of him with trembling eyes, with a very confused look on his face. And in the live broadcast room, at this moment, it was boiling instantly. Deidara, FK. Brother Z and Master Aike's parents are still alive. Hidden. No way? Could it be that the news I got before was false? Chihiyo, no, something is wrong. The news will be sent back only after confirmation. Besides, Scorpion's parents were killed by White Fang. Yuhihong. Ah. Well, then these 2 people are Anoki. If there is no accident, it is very likely that Aike did it. After all, he made a real puppet before. Kakashi, I'll go. Is it real or not? This. Your parents have directly become dolls. Little Sakura, this is too scary. In broad daylight, I thought it was haunted. Naruto, this makes my scalp tingle. Ghost, Scorpion himself was stunned too. He was sad all night, but his parents 14 actually appeared intact. Tsunade, I just feel my palms sweating. This picture is really scary to think about. Kurkuzu, Aike, this boy is much more terrifying than what Scorpion did. I know, exactly. Scorpion just made their parents into dry puppets, but Aike can talk. All of a sudden, everyone was scared to pee. The revived parents are probably puppets made by Aike. After all, Aike's research has been very mature before. It is only natural to make a person who is so realistic that you can't even tell that it is a puppet and is comparable to a living person. Next, in the screen, after seeing the reappearance of the dead parents, Z was also shocked. I froze in place for a long time. He couldn't help but took 2 steps forward, wanting to talk to his parents. However, the next second, Scorpion suddenly remembered the news that my parents died cannot be false. I was in the morgue yesterday, but I saw the bodies of the 2 with my own eyes. Moreover, the death of the 2 of them was still determined by Grandma Chihiyo. Although the 2 people in front of them are very similar to their parents in appearance and voice, but it must be fake. Besides, if the parents do come, then you should be very excited and hug yourself and tell something. It won't be like this at all. Just calling myself calmly and gently. Exactly. The same appearance. The body is also the corpse I saw last night. Could it be that they are puppets made by Aike? Scorpion suddenly remembered the living puppet he found in Aike's house not long ago. I just feel my scalp tingling. In order to verify, Scorpion quickly ran towards a certain direction with doubts. Aike is currently busy researching in the basement of his home. Boom. Suddenly, the door was slammed open. Scorpion rushed in hastily. Aike. Aike frowned, then came out of the basement. Chapter 98. Sarutobi Hirozen. What? The dead come back to life? Hearing this, Chihiyo was dumbfounded at the time, and she even wondered if she heard it wrong. After a few seconds of surprise, Chihiyo asked, Third generation, what did you just say? Is there anything wrong? This kind of thing. Third Kazakage nodded, and said with a familiar expression, yes, it's nothing. After reconfirming the words of third generation, Uchiha was suddenly surprised and said, this is nothing, producer. Puppet is a big taboo that Sans Shinobi Village has always banned. Even if the entire ninja world is left alone, no one will do such a thing. You say it's nothing, do you know what a producer puppet needs? That's the dead body of a living person. It's against ethics. Have you forgotten? While talking, Toshiro even started to roar. Originally, she thought that third Kazakage would punish Aike a lot, so she prepared all kinds of excuses to keep Aike. As a result, the other party didn't care at all, and third Kazakage waved his hand, then immediately turned expressionless, and said seriously, what about a living corpse? You said it all. They're all dead, and they have completely lost their lives. Wouldn't it be better if they could be made into puppets again to fight? Nowadays, wars are frequent. You should understand how many people were killed and injured in our Sans Shinobi Village. These puppets can also go to the battlefield and help us defeat the enemy, so that our country can leave more living people. War is cruel. The living don't know how to survive. Who cares about the dead? Besides, life is inherently diverse. Even if they are puppets, they are another life carefully crafted by the puppet master. We have to treat everyone equally. Uchiha couldn't help but took a few steps back. What third Kazakage said made her feel very shocked and at a loss, and seeing this scene, in the live broadcast room at this time, heated discussions erupted. Sarutobi Hirozen, hey, third Kazakage, aren't you talking too much? Do dead people count as life? Terumi May, third generation, when you saw the scorpion make you into a puppet before, didn't you yell at me? What kind of preacher are you here? Yuhihong, this is different. The third generation got angry when they saw their puppet, Temari, but what third generation said is indeed a bit wrong. Everyone has been banning puppets. Why does he still appreciate Aike's behavior this time? Just because he can get very powerful power. Little Sakura, I think third Kazakage is right. It is a time of war, and the situation is special. If one more puppet comes out, there will be more combat power, so as to reduce the damage to the doctor. Tsunade, that's right, it's a war right now. If there's less combat power, a lot more people will die. Think about it, if Aike's puppet can protect the village, would third Kazakage choose to punish him? Of course not. Or a Chimaru, that's right, crossing rivers and demolishing bridges is only an afterthought. No matter what bad means you do during the war, the higher-ups won't care. Kato Shizune, or Chimaru, I doubt what you're alluding to. Chapter 99 White Fang killed. A large number of Konoha ninjas surrendered to Sans Shinobi Village? Exclamation mark. With the speed of the two, they quickly arrived at the battlefield where the news came. Then, they saw with their own eyes two familiar puppet masters who were manipulating the puppets to kill randomly on the battlefield. It's really them? It's impossible. White Fang was shocked. Unbelievable. Hands on head. He obviously beheaded these two people with his own hands, but what happened to the two people who appeared in front of him? Whether it's expressions or movements, they are exactly the same as the two White Fang fought against before, and even their skills are even better than before. But how is this possible? Don't think so much, it's important to stop them first. Sarutobi Hirozen is equally incredible. He believed that White Fang would not lie, but the reality in front of him told him that the situation was completely opposite to what White Fang said. Master Hokage, please wait here to prevent the enemy from cheating. If I can beat them once, I can beat them twice. Although White Fang couldn't believe that these two people were still alive, he was obviously more confident in his own strength. With a flash of white light, they came to the side of the puppet couple in an instant. It is worthy of the name of Konoha's White Fang. Sarutobi Hirozen happened to be watching from the sidelines. White Fang is extremely confident in his own strength. With his extremely fast speed and strong knife skills, he has almost no enemies on the battlefield. All enemies who had seen White Fang's saber technique were killed. All of these made White Fang famous, but now, fighting against a puppet couple again, White Fang immediately felt something was wrong. The last time they fought, after White Fang got close to the puppet couple, after only a dozen rounds of fighting, he beheaded the two of them with his extremely strong skills. But now, the puppet couple were instantly approached, but they didn't panic at all. Instead, they fought with White Fang with ease. Whether it is the reaction ability or the instantaneous speed, they have all improved a lot, so they have avoided many attacks of 353 by White Fang. But after all, White Fang is stronger. Finding an opportunity, The knife flashed in White Fang's hand and pierced the body of Scorpion's father. One hit succeeded, but White Fang didn't feel the slightest joy. Instead, Yuan Dong was incomparable. The stabbing doesn't feel right, but by the time he wanted to withdraw, it was already too late. Father Z, who was supposed to be killed by the penetrating wound, seemed to treat the physical injury as if it didn't exist. The knife inserted into his body seemed to be stuck by something and could not be pulled out. Scorpion's father firmly held White Fang's hands with both hands, restricting his movements. What frightened White Fang the most was the sudden opening of Scorpion's father's chest. Like a ferocious and terrifying monster with its big mouth open, the sharp ribs are its fangs, and there is nothing in its chest at this moment. 100% realized what these two things in front of him were not human, nor is the resurrection of the dead. They are puppets. Click. The ribs of the Scorpion father wrapped tightly around half of White Fang's body. It's over. White Fang knows that things are not going well. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw that Mother Z also killed him with a blank face behind her poo. The sharp blade penetrated White Fang's body from all directions. Vital points everywhere were hit hard. Chapter 100. The Scorpion was shocked. Even started to be afraid of puppets. Question mark. People in the studio were still discussing whether Z's parents could make puppets in the video. The content is also continuing to play. Scorpion is, after all, an extremely talented puppeteer. It's immediately obvious that these erratic Konoha shinobi have been made into puppets. Now the Scorpion couldn't bear it anymore. I feel that my younger brother is getting deeper and deeper, and has turned into an appearance he doesn't know as an older brother. Z felt that he had to prevent his younger brother from sinking further. He immediately set off to look for Aike, and then found Aike, who was making a puppet in Aike's basement. Stop it, Aike, Scorpion said sincerely. It's too weird to continue like this. I know you miss your father and mother very much, but your approach is not correct. After all, they are not alive. Please be sober. However, facing Z's questioning, Aike just looked at Z indifferently, and said in an extremely indifferent voice, because I'm not a living person, that's what I want. Scorpion was stunned. You, what did you say? Scorpion suspected that he had heard wrong. How could my younger brother say such cruel and heartless words? Those are the parents. Aike actually said that he wants people who are not alive. Could it be that Aike has long been looking forward to making his parents into puppets? Scorpion felt cold all over his body, like falling into an ice cellar. Aike said coldly, how bad it is to be alive. When a person lives, he will age and die. Before he dies, he will consume all kinds of materials and destroy the world, and because of various desires and hatreds, wars will be launched, and the lives will be ruined. The puppet is so wonderful by comparison. Puppets won't die, they don't need to consume anything to maintain their existence, and they won't start unnecessary wars because of hatred and desire. Don't you think so, brother? This elder brother spit out from Aike's cold lips, making Z tremble all over. Z couldn't imagine, when did his younger brother's thinking become so extreme? Aike, stop being obsessed. After all, puppets cannot replace living people. They are just cold objects under your control. Wake up, Aike, Scorpion roared hoarsely, trying to wake up his sinking brother, but Aike was completely unmoved. He just looked at the Scorpion indifferently. I don't know if it's Scorpion's illusion, but he seems to be able to see a touch of eagerness in Aike's eyes, just like Aike is looking forward to making Scorpions into puppets, but if you look carefully, you can't see anything. Even so, Scorpion was still taken aback, looking around at the many corpses in the basement that have not yet been made into puppets. They stared at him with staring eyes for the first time in his life. Scorpio felt scared for these things. The Scorpion feels a sincere fear. Scorpion almost ran away and ran out of Aike's laboratory. Seeing this scene, everyone in the live broadcast room couldn't help but sigh, but more people are gloating. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.